is back, ladies and gentlemen. The chat room is back. I'm so excited. I took a little break because I wanted to revamp the show. I wanted to do some new things, get a website going, get cameras in here, get new guests, new discussions, new everything. So I'm happy to say I did all that, and we coming in bigger and better. And today I got a special guest in the studio with me. I got my boy Kevin Elliott.
Amen.
How you been, Kevin?
I've been great, man. Like, seriously.
I met Kevin a while ago. It was, oh God, probably like a year ago.
And a couple of months.
Yeah, at another radio station I was working on. And he came in with this fabulous book called All Men Are Dogs. It is what it is. But ladies, it's not what you think it is, because I know we're all agreeing and shaking our heads. Yes. Kevin, I've been going through these past 2 weeks with men. I'm going to just let you know that right now. So I'm complete agreement. All men are dogs. But no, tell me what the book really is about.
The book is about the premise of the actual word dog. Like, if anybody that ever owned a dog know that a dog can be very loyal. But however, you have to know how to handle them. You have to be equipped to handle them. You have to be able to, you have to have the amenities to handle them. It's just like if you have I'm just using like the book, the example that's in the book. If you have a Great Dane and live in a studio apartment, you don't even have enough space to actually facilitate the dog.
Because the Great Dane is big.
It's big. Oh yeah, definitely.
I forgot to mention Maya is in the studio with me, you guys. She wants to come in and chime in when she can, but Maya is in the studio.
Yep, so it's just like, it's just things that you have to have cohesion with your mate, which is the dog. That can be, it could be feast or famine. He could really be a dog, or he could be the actual sense of a dog, loving, caring, loyal, nurturing, so to speak. But you have to, as a woman, have some type of man-keeping skills to actually facilitate having, cohesion within a relationship of getting the correct dog. That's the whole thing.
So in a nutshell, all men are dogs. You just have to find your right dog.
You just got to find the right one.
Okay, so
You got to find
a woman reading this book, how does she go about figuring out what dog is best for her? Because I've read the book probably twice.
Gotcha.
And a couple of dogs in here look like they belong to me.
Yes.
So how do I really pinpoint out what is my dog?
Well, the way you could do it is you have to set standards for yourself first. You have to have a stick to draw a line in the sand on certain things that you're going to be able to tolerate and certain things you're not going to be able to tolerate. If some women, we'll talk about it later in the show, some women are even giving men hall passes. Some, certain things. Some women have the intestinal fortitude to handle that. If you can't handle that, if you are very territorial as a woman, selfish to the point where you don't want to share your man, then guess what? If you have a man that has the wandering eye, that has the propensity to go out there and talk and put himself in situations where he can be in the mix with other women, then guess what? You may have to damper down on what you may think you might want to what you may really need.
So before a woman reads this book, she has to come in tune with herself, what she wants in her man/dog.
That's
and
right.
Then read the book and be like, there he is.
There he is. And it's not just, it won't even, like you say, you'll read the book and say, okay, well, this one fits and this one fits. Because life is about options sometimes, especially if you're single as a woman and you're just trying to discover yourself and discover what's like. It's like trial and error. And you can do this in relationships. It's a trial and error situation. You don't always arbitrarily. What women make the mistake is, and I know men gonna hate me for this, but it's the truth. But if you have a daughter, you'll understand jumping into bed too soon.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you do things like that and make that mortal error, is like you narrow your situation down, and like somebody that may have only supposed to been a page in the book of your life is now a whole chapter, and now you have to plot your escape.
You better preach.
So,
I'm sorry, I'm going through.
So, you know what I mean?
Right.
So you might meet someone and just think like, say like a guy, like you meet a guy. He cool. Y'all vibe together. Great conversation. And then you slip up and whoop-de-whoop, have sex with him or get really intimate with him too soon. You didn't really get a chance to really fully understand the inner workings of this man to make a real sound decision.
And that's what you explain in the book.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like sometimes you have to be able to control your urges and really dive deep and see like, okay, how did I meet him? You met him in the club. All right. You have to think about that. He didn't just meet you in the club. He met other people in the club. So just when he go out again, he may have the propensity to meet someone else. So, you know, it's all about like from the beginning of how you met, the conversations that you have, the quality of conversations. Because you could sit and meet someone, meet him, let's say we're going back to the club again, meet him in the club, talk on the phone with him a couple of times, y'all talking about stuff that's trending. That could last forever. You could have meaningless conversations, so the quality of your conversations really not even allowing you to understand that person. So you having meaningless conversations that may last a couple of weeks, and then it's like, okay, we done had a couple of conversations, now let's jump into bed. You know what I mean?
Right.
You really still didn't get a chance to know this man.
Right.
It's just like bringing a dog home and just, you know, it's just I love him, but you're not really.
You ain't train him.
You ain't. Yes, in a sense.
So we as women can train our dog.
I don't want to say the word train because, like I said in the book, that's like saying that's like witchcraft to a man. Nobody, you know, every man think that they can't be trained, but honestly, in a sense, they could be put in a sedative state. Like, it's not training, but it's just getting to know him. It's just like a learning process. It's not training, but it's like training for your life. It's like certain things you want. It's your life. You can't train him. You could train him to know what you like and what you don't like. And if it work, it work. And if he don't want to vibe with what you have going on, then it's not going to work. It's just that simple.
So let me ask you this, Kevin. What made you qualified to write a book called All Men Are Dogs and be this relationship expert?
Well, it's not that I'm an expert, but it's the fact that I've been several of the dogs. You know, I've been the pit bull, you know, territorial, get out there, just trying to knock anything down that I can see. I've been a loyal man that's been cheated on. You know what I'm saying? I've been, you know, I've tried several of the shoes of certain dogs till I came into my own. And that's another thing too, women have to understand that women have a power, a very supernatural power to help cultivate some men. But if he don't have it in him, you have to be able to pick it out like, okay, this man got some good potential. I might have met him in the club. He might be somebody of a whoremonger, so to speak. But, you know, I see where his structure, he want to be loyal. He has potential to go out and be a provider, you know, keep me secure. But if you, through conversation, that's when you figure it out. That's when I go back to like the quality of your talk and the quality of your conversation. It's so crucial because if you don't have quality conversations, you'll never really get the chance to know what this man is really all about and how he fits into your world. Because it's really the story about you. You the author. You know, we all are the authors. So what gives me the qualifications? Because I was single. I've wore many shoes. You know,
many leashes.
Yes, many leashes. Amen. So, you know, I've been out there in several different, I done messed up some good women. You know, I done threw away some bad ones. It's just like I've trial and error this thing out until I got to the point where like, okay, I know who I am and I know what I want. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to go out there and find that person that's going it's not going to always be perfect, but there is a middle ground, or there is a place of cohesion that you could achieve with another being.
Is there a certain dog that might be, that a woman probably should be striving for, or it's just all about her perception? Like what's the bad dog?
There is no bad dog.
There's a bad dog.
There is no bad dog because you got to understand, like I've met women that wanted me to, they want you to go out, I don't want to say cheat on them. They like a little drama to keep them
drama. You right.
Or you perceive this boring, like a boring man. I had a woman like that at one time. It was just like, she was like, "Oh man, you just too nice." What you mean too nice?
I hear guys say that.
Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm too nice. Well, I'm gonna show you what the opposite side of it is. And there's like, she started loving it. Like, she called a number in my phone. Who you texting? And at the end of the night, she wanted to make passionate love. You know what I mean?
She like that thrill.
She like that thrill.
What kind of dog is that?
Oh man, there's a couple of them. This pit bull is the number one that come to my mind. Is that
Yeah, pit bulls just sound like the dog you just don't. If you're a good woman who likes a very stable man, a pit bull just sounds like somebody.
Yeah, that's somebody you might want to sit
at home. I hate him.
Exactly.
You do?
Exactly. He's bad. He's this little guy. Yeah, pit bulls, nah.
Well, like an actual pit bull.
But I've read the characteristics of pit bull in your book, and some characteristics of a pit bull, I kind of like the strength, the masculinity of that pit bull.
Yes.
But then it gets to that player. He ain't really that stable. He trying to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just like you have to take the good with the bad. So you may have to damper down. Like I remember the show that came on a couple of years ago. What Chili Wants.
Yeah.
It was like it was unreasonable, man, because you feel what I'm saying. So it's like you have to know to. You have to damper down on some of the things that you might want in actual, it may even go to the physical appearance. You know what I'm saying? He might not have a six-pack. You know what
He might not be the German Shepherd.
No.
He might look like a Chihuahua.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's
But
just
you
like...
might love that Chihuahua.
You might love the qualities. y'all might mesh well together. And you ever see people together and be like, man, why is she with him? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, man, she beautiful. Why is she with... Man, he might treat her like a queen.
Right. I don't ever see it the other way around.
It is the other way around.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
I think the biggest thing that you're saying, Kevin, is that first, before a woman picks up this book, she needs to find out who she is and what she wants. Then come read Kevin's book, All Men Are Dogs, and figure out what type of dog you
That's
need in your
right.
life.
Because that's what qualifies me. It's like I'm not the expert. I'm just letting you know you the expert. I'm just letting you know how men are.
I like that.
You know what I mean? You the expert, man. And it's like, and it's not it's not even being disrespectful to men, because I get a lot of negativity from just the titles. Like people look for a reason not to read it. Which is cool, because it's like I just like if you get a chance to talk to me and understand like this is what I love these type of interviews, because it allows me to really explain myself.
Right. And I know when I was telling a couple people that I'm having you on the show, you wrote this book, All Men Are Dogs, everybody was like, what? He's snitching on men, and men like, what you mean? It's like, nah, it's not. That's not what it is. Like, it's more of just like he's teaching you what kind of dog you need in your life. What kind of feedback do you get from men? Like, do men read the book?
Yeah.
What do they say?
A few. They give me dap at the end of the book, because they'll see through the course of the book, it's like men roles men roles have never changed throughout history. Like honestly, if you think about it, it's like men been the same way throughout history.
The play has changed, but the game stays the same.
It stay the same, man. So it's just like throughout history, who has always been fluid like water? Women. If you think about it, women have changed. They've evolved.
Yeah.
You know, through history.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of time. So it's like you guys really have the key. Y'all hold the key to the relationship and don't even know it. Like a lot of women don't know it. And you know, you have to be able to tap into that power that you have to get what you want out of life. You could customize your life as a woman. And that's the beauty of it all. I could go out, like I was saying a long time ago, a year, if Beyonce walked in here and it was 4 guys, I could want what I want. Like I could go out and say, man, I want to holler at you, you know, can I get your number? She have the power to choose either one.
This is true.
Anytime you go out, you could go out and pick any guy and be like, you know what? Come here.
I want you.
I want you.
I want that confidence. I feel like your next book needs to be like... Maya, she does though. When she gets a little alcohol in her system, she definitely has that come here.
You see what I'm saying?
But I feel like that's what your next book should be. Like it should be a prequel to what this is. Like I found myself because I read that all women are cats or whatever you might name the book.
But the thing is, the only reason why I kind of shied away from diving into the aura of a woman is because we don't understand y'all.
Yeah, and you never will.
And we never will. So it's just like it. Then they will really have the opportunity and have the right to say, man, you really don't know what you're talking about. You know, women can really debunk what I'm saying if I come out with a book saying, okay, all women are this, all women are that. Like, dude, how do you know? You don't even know how it feels to have a menstrual cycle every month. And the emotions that tie into that, and the estrogen that, you know, the body chemical processes that take place of being you see? So I can't dive into that. All I can tell you is about men. And the thing is not snitching on men. Men been men since the beginning of time.
Right.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
just need to find
That
your
is.
dog.
You got to find your dog, and sometimes in certain situations, they're precursors for things. Like I talk about in the book, Beware of the Dog. Beware of the Dog talks about guys that actually put their hands on women. There are precursors to that. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to pick up the signs, but sometimes penis, excuse my language, puts blinders on women.
We were just having that conversation.
I talk about it in the book. It's called digmatized. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
You're digmatized.
Yeah.
And so you really in a trance.
That's really a curse? Like, do you really feel as a man like that's really like?
Yeah, I done had women under the spell, and I'm not just saying like you can do them anything after that point. And
right.
Like they do not see your faults at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Oh, yeah. I saw that deep breath.
It's right. Like we as women, we play with that word all the time. We take it for a joke, but it's like I feel like there's really a psychological
I don't think
curve.
women admit it. You
no.
just see it when you be like when you be calling an ancient nigga like a whole bunch of wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
You be like, okay. Like we was talking about in the car.
Yeah. Like I said, we just had that conversation in the car. So that's really. I didn't know you talked about it in the book. See, I got halfway there and I figured out who my dog was, so I stopped reading. But as I went through life,
wait, so who was your dog?
I thought it was more of like the Great Dane.
Yeah.
But I went through life thinking I found my Great Dane, and I realized that ain't the kind of dog I want. So I didn't find.
What were you saying earlier when you were like having a Great Dane in a studio apartment?
It's just like that's just an obvious example of you don't even have the space.
You know how Great Danes are huge, they're big dogs, so you can't fit them in a small
apartment because they need room to run, they need room to grow, they need room.
So I'm saying, how does that translate between a woman and a man?
Okay, how that translates between a woman and a man? You have to have the personal amenities. That's when it gets tricky. Like you have to have the personal amenities to absolutely facilitate being this man. Like, like if you have a guy that likes a home cooked meal. You don't like to cook. Guess what? He may get tired of you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just that the Great Dane that's just a physical way of describing the psychological thing that you might have to in order to facilitate having this type of man.
Mm-hmm.
Like with me, I have to have a woman that's mentally stimulated. We have to have conversations other than what's trending on Twitter. You know,
right.
I like to talk about, you know, healing and stuff like that, and it's just like I like to go out. I was a big dude at one time, so I like to work out. I like to go and connect with nature. But if you at home sitting down looking at TV all the time,
basketball,
you know, and all that, man, look, you know, that'll frustrate me after a while. And guess what? I'm gonna go to looking. I'm looking who in to see who fits that situation, even if you there. You know what I mean?
Right. So a man can change his doggy ways, or meaning a man can go from dog to dog.
Yes, we can morph. We can morph. I talk about it in the book, but it goes back to the woman. Sometimes that woman can help bring out or suppress where he's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, y'all have that power to like, you know.
We run the world.
Y'all do.
Beyonce wasn't lying.
She wasn't lying. She wasn't lying, but women missed they missed it. It's like they missed the mark. And look at her relationship. You talk about all they want, they still together.
Right.
Traveling the world. It's just a basic relationship. They just have money to do it.
Exactly.
Certain things, but she's facilitating whatever their relationship is. She might give him a hall pass. You'll never know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about that since you've nicely segued into that topic. How does your book kind of relate to, is there a dog in here that's okay with hall passes, and should women be okay with hall passes?
That is. It goes back to that personal woman's intestinal fortitude, how strong you are. And if you go back to hall passes, I did a little research. It goes back to the biblical times. Let's just use the Bible as a reference because, you know, like the Bible's real iffy with some people. You can't talk about religion. But if you use that as a reference, it's one of the oldest references. You could talk about like they had several guys with wives. Like Jacob had wives. Abraham had wives. Somebody had, I read, King Solomon. He had 700 wives and 300 concubines. You know, the Torah. They have leaders and Jewish leaders. They all had several wives, so it's deeper than a hall pass. They had women back in the day that had the strength to know that their man gonna go out there and they married these guys. It was bigger than a hall pass.
I say no because
I'm not feeling this right now.
I know.
I'm not a huge fan of hall passes, but I tried, like you, I've done research. I read Monique's type of her answer, her excuse for giving her husband a hall pass. And it basically was just like, you know, there's going to be times where I can't give my husband everything that he wants or everything that he needs. So who am I to stop him from getting that? And if our relationship is so strong, like you said, then I should be able to, you know, take that.
Because women don't understand that we don't, when we go out and cheat, so to speak, that don't mean we taking away from the queen's position. It's different. When y'all go out and cheat, most of the time women looking for a replacement. Sometimes I'm just taking advantage of space and opportunity.
Yeah,
it's like,
I agree. I think when women cheat, it's more of a emotional, mental type thing. Like we're really looking for someone else. When y'all cheat, it's more like, I'm not getting what I have at home. Not to say I don't love my wife. But I need to get what I'm missing so I can go back home and be a happy man.
Exactly, and it goes back.
No, though.
That's right. If it's no to you, then guess what?
Right, it's just no.
It's just no.
Yeah, but for some women,
it's yes. I've met him. I've been in a relationship with some.
But
it's yes.
Really?
Oh yes, and it was lovely.
It was it
was a successful relationship.
For a period of time.
For a period of time, but you know, it get to the point where, like, you know, I grew, and you know, I made her wanted something different. You know what I'm saying? It was a mutual agreement. You know, but at the time, you know, it was lovely. And sometimes I want to think about stepping back. But
so was she doing her own thing?
No, she wasn't.
What? See, that's the issue. Now, if we come into a common understanding like Will and Jada, this has never been proven that they've had an open marriage. But, you know, it's been rumors throughout years that their marriage is open.
True.
And if I feel like we have that communication, like, you do you, I do me, but we come back to this happy home and nothing is said, nothing is talked about, then that's fine. Better than that, if you doing you and I'm just sitting here waiting on you to come home with diseases, babies, and everything, no.
There's rules to it, though.
What's the rules?
It's the rules that you set as a woman. If you have I can look at
because we have power.
Is not just that. It's just that. It's y'all control it. It's like if you give the man the opportunity to do that, you set the stage, and if he get out of line with that, then it's definitely because you already going against the norm, so to speak. But is it the norm? Because if you look back in the Bible and every other book you've ever read from back in the day, they were not just giving them hall passes, they were letting them marry other women. So it's deeper than a hall pass. So men and women are totally biologically, chemically different. We can't handle it. Women are just naturally stronger. Even like with my, I do massage, that's my business. Even physically, women can take deeper pressure than men. Women can have babies. Men couldn't even take a pinch of that pain.
Right.
We are definitely chemically different, and you got to understand a man is fueled by testosterone. Testosterone is a chemical process of the body that it just flows in us. Sometimes you see something attractive, it's like, oh my goodness. You don't understand that you don't know why your penis just get hard for no reason.
Right.
We can't control that. We would like to. We would like to because it would have saved a lot of relationships. You understand?
Right.
So it's deeper than just what you see. It goes back into like the chemical processes of the body that men have to deal with. It's just like y'all having a cycle. Y'all can't explain that, but y'all can't explain it to men how you feel. It's just the same.
We try. Y'all don't listen. That's the issue.
And that's the same. That's the same with testosterone. It's like if I see something nice, like, man, it's like I can't explain the way I feel and what I want to do, and I don't even know why I want to do it. But it's the same as a menstrual cycle. It's just two different chemical processes of the body that take place, and it's just that we don't understand each other. And some women have learned the key. It's like, look, I can't give him everything he wants every second of the day. I'm tired tonight. Go get your love. If you got a side chick, but it's rules. You set the standard, and if he don't abide by the rules, then guess what? He wasn't deserving of the hall pass. And that's what it is.
I like how you put the quotations
Look,
around
if I
that.
give you a hall pass, though, you better be on your P's and Q's in every other area of the game.
That is.
I need to be the queen, and you better be making some money like the king.
There it is. Here we go. It's tied.
Are you up for that? Do you think that
Why
you
gotta
will
be tied into the money?
Because men want all this sexual expression and freedom, and women want security.
True.
So
it has to be an even trade.
Very secure in a material sense and secure in an emotional sense.
Yeah,
it is.
I agree.
Know about financial.
And I feel
that's
material. That's what I meant by material.
Gotcha.
Like
it's
wives.
the security.
Yeah.
No,
all these people in the Bible that had all these wives and stuff, they were probably prominent men. Like, you gotta be able to take care of all them wives.
True.
So.
True, but.
Don't be broke out here.
But like you say, it's all about the type of woman that you are. Some women can handle, like, he can go do him. We see it on TV all the time with the Love and Hip Hops and Basketball Wives. We see the women who know your man is out here doing him, but as long as you coming home showing me a little bit of love and affection, security, and all kinds of stuff.
Some women know deep in their heart, like, you don't underestimate the power of just having a relationship where it's just y'all two and y'all able to talk about certain things. Some women know that I'm the queen, no matter what the situation is. Like I was saying, the relationship I was in back in the day, the woman used to like to hear the stories. And we used to laugh, like, psh, the other, the side chick would get out of place. Then she go text him. You just don't know. I'm the queen.
I want that much confidence one day. Not to say I want that type of relationship.
Yeah.
I just want that much confidence. Like, he gonna be back. He ain't going nowhere.
I don't know what, man. It's really
I can
open.
do that if I'm doing my own stuff too.
Why?
I can't be sitting at home while you out doing your own stuff.
I agree.
I understand that, but the thing is, man, men not made like that.
Yeah, and that's the sad part though. It's just I kind of think men always kind of want some type of like freedom just to kind of bounce off walls and stuff. But it's just like women can take heartbreak a lot easier than men can.
Yeah.
Y'all cheat on us, we'll cry about it for about a week, and then we back, doing us. We cheat.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I know.
We'll slash
it's over.
We'll slash your teeth, but when we cheat, it's over. There's no second chance. Our numbers are blocked. Y'all might move.
Yeah.
Like it's real.
Right. It's real.
But why is that? Why?
That's what I don't understand. It's like almost like, again, a chemical process of the body. We made chemically different, man, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I said it is what it is, because some things are unexplainable. It's like you could try to put that round ball into that square peg all you want, but this is the rules that were set in place before me and you were ever existing. Men soft feelings, so to speak. Women tough, strong, able to have kids, able to take a little bit more emotional pressure than men.
Where I credit at though?
Right. And I was just finna say that. It just seems like we're always deemed as the weaker human being when we're actually the strongest, and it's just kind of like, why don't people talk about that enough? That needs to be your next book. As much as you don't want to talk about women and toning it.
It is. It's through the eyes of a man, though. That is the premise of my next book. It's called The Chronicles of Nick. And if you think about it, I do in my book, I do a lot of wordplay. The Chronicles of Nick, it's something.
I get it. It rhymes with what rhymes with Nick that we've been kind of just
talking about the whole time. It's the Chronicles of Nick.
It's gonna take her a minute, but keep on going. I know what you're talking about.
It's the Nick Chronicles, and Nick is the guy.
She just got it, y'all. She just got it.
Yeah. So in the process of Nick is a guy that got his heart broken by a woman. Mm-hmm. That's how the book started off. And that really helped him revamp himself. He really recreated himself. He went and got his money right, he got his body right, and then he went out on the dating scene, and it was the trial and error. So he started meeting the different types of women that I described that I was going to use for the all women or whatever book. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to fit into this book, and that's what women will be able to understand through the eyes of a man what we see. Mm-hmm. The super needy, the unappreciated Jew, the religious freak, it's just like,
yeah, I like that.
Through the eyes of a man. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we don't understand y'all through y'all eyes. We can it's only what I see.
And sometimes women love to hear a man's opinion. I know when I'm going through stuff with certain guys, like a lot of times I like to talk to guys.
That's right.
Because we're
gonna give it to you real.
Exactly.
And it's from a man's perspective because it's from our eyes, and it's like it gives you the insight. And that's why I say every woman should have picked up All Men Are Dogs, because of the simple fact that it gives you the insights, not a Steve Harvey. And that's why I hate that, man. So many people like, man, Steve Harvey trying to be. Nah, man, I wrote this book before Steve Harvey book came out. I'll tell you the truth. I've been had this done. So it was like when it came out, I snapped my fingers like, dang. because they gonna think that I took the premise from him and I'm giving the insight now, man. I'm telling you that men have been the same. And the funny thing about the whole situation is the actual characteristics of these dogs match the actual characteristics of men. Like a German Shepherd is a loyal dog.
They are. I mean, the book's spot on. Like, if you haven't picked it up, it's spot on. I can't say that enough. It's a very spot on book.
So, it's just that, it's all through the eyes of us, man. I can't put my eyes in your eyes and see what y'all see or feel how you feel, or when God breaks your heart, how you could bounce back so quick and why we can't. But all I know is it is what it is. This is what it is. These are the rules. So, okay, once you know the rules, that we all weaker vessel, so to speak, men, and if a man get mad at me for that, so be it. You got to look at the evidence. The proof is there.
Speaking to it real. I think the minute men realize how weak they are compared to a woman, and a woman realizes her strength, it's the way the world is supposed to, be. Yeah.
It's the balance, man.
We wouldn't have all this, this drama, this cheating, and social media. How do you think social media has played a role in relationships?
Social media is creating a universe. We talk about dimensions and quantum physics. Don't get me started. But it's creating our world, the perception, the articles you read. It affects your brain. It makes you think a certain way. So sometimes, like I say, I'm a firm believer in some days you got to log off and listen to yourself. Don't look at what Monique said and try to fit into your situation. I could look at you right now and say, hell no, I ain't giving my man no pads. I could look at you and say, you taking deep breaths, your body, the body language. So guess what? Don't even try to fit that don't take that stick and erase the line in the sand that you already have. Keep your line drawn.
Right.
Do you, man. So that's why some days it's good to log off and keep the silence. Like some people scared of the silence. There's so much noise in your ear. So many perceived negative articles or whatever situation is, and it's changing your perception. But the thing is, you have to keep yourself whole. So sometimes log off. Deal with yourself. Find yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Go drive in the car on your way home from work. Turn the music off.
Talk to yourself.
And deal with your own thoughts. And figure out what you really want. Because like I say, some women can handle it. Some women can handle it a little bit. Some women love it. It's just that, and that's what I love about, some women have found out the secret. And those are the ones that have those relationships. You'll be surprised how many women probably giving their men a hall pass that you don't even know about.
Yeah, no, I feel like 2015 was the year that all that stuff kind of just came out. And I remember Toya Wright and her husband, she gave her husband like an 8-day hall pass. Yeah. She said it's when they were on the verge of divorce, but he's still your husband. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I feel like last year was just the year of the hall pass. So I had to talk to you about it because it's just like, I don't think this is uncommon. I think this is women are really just getting that weak, or just some women are okay with, I'm not giving it to him, so he can go somewhere else and get it.
Well, we're probably moving into more people having relationships that are a lot unorthodox, just different. Marriage looks a lot different now.
Yeah, man. It's whatever your norm is. Like you were saying, like I heard you say the word weak. So that's further implication to me. So you gotta listen.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about, quality. If you listen to a guy talk, when y'all talking and having regular conversation, you could pick up on keywords, what he's standing for, what he's gonna go for, and what he's not gonna go for.
Right.
And if you do the same, you know what I'm saying? If he don't pick up on it, you make sure he does pick up on it. You that's where that clarity comes in. Look, man, I don't like the feeling of being hurt. So if you feel as though you're gonna hurt me, you need to move around.
Yeah.
If you feel as though you need variety, or if you need to talk to your man about these things. Because you'll be surprised at what the answer is. So many relationships, like right now, when I'm thinking we moving into you remember they talk about the Mayan calendar was ending? It was really a awakening stage.
Right.
Like we're coming into consciousness now. You can see everybody going into natural hair and stuff like that. That is a form of consciousness. So now, if you're into a form of consciousness, you have to be more open and talk about the likes and dislikes, because you may be surprised of the answers. It was back in the day, that's old school relationships where daddy would leave and he have his little wife on the side and nobody, the mama turned a blind eye. No, man. Now is the information era. Everybody's awakened. There isn't any secrets. This phone, You know, it records everything. There's cameras, so now you really have to have those open conversations. What you feel about Monique having a hall pass? And you might be surprised, man, that's awesome. And then that may be an indication to you like, oh,
it's a red flag.
Oh, sure.
I hear you. So it sounds like at the end of the day, it's all about you setting a standard, you communicating with the person who you want to deal with.
Constant, consistent.
And then figure it out from there.
There it is.
Figure out your dog.
Figure out your dog. And then the thing is, what people I call have the "it's so hard to say goodbye" syndrome. You don't want to let it go.
Letting go is so hard.
It is.
But how do you make it easier? Like dealing with a certain type of dog, or how do you make letting go?
When you love yourself.
Let me ask that again. How do you let someone go?
When you love yourself.
There it is.
That's the only answer
there
it
is.
When you know yourself enough, that's why it goes back to knowing yourself. When you know yourself enough, and when you love yourself, you won't stand for certain things. I'm not gonna keep. You could put it like that's why I'm going back to the dog with the apartment analogy, because it's easy when you could put it into physical terms. It's just like I went to the bank the other day and I was talking to this chick and she said her boyfriend is a drug addict. The chick cool, she beautiful too. And I'm saying to myself, he a drug addict, I've tried to help him, such and such and such. He did this, he did that, he did this. I said, it was so funny. I said, if it was money that we was talking about and you ran out of money, you would not even be physically able to help him anymore.
Right.
But since we're not talking about money, or something that's tangible, you're going to keep on whistling in the wind. You have to take your emotional status or things that your psyche, and make it tangible. And that's when loving yourself come in. It's like certain things I'm not dealing with.
Right.
And that's just that. Like, I love you, bruh, but I love me. And that's what it is. Like, I'm sorry, I have to let this go. Even it's like stop smoking cigarettes. You might have to get in the bed and cry it out a few days. You may have to get in the bed and cry. You might have to shut yourself off from the world.
Right.
You may have to log off the internet.
Right.
You may have to not look at his pictures on Instagram of your pictures on Instagram of y'all together reminiscing about the past. You have to do whatever it means necessary to preserve yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you love yourself and then you meet that other person that's cohesion, you would laugh at that.
Right. Like, I don't even remember your name
until you get to that level.
Yeah, and until you start loving yourself, you'll never find out what true love is.
And I think a lot of women have a problem with that because they kind of marry or settle with someone who is supposed to be like a seasonal thing, and we end up confusing that with a long time commitment. And it's just like you wonder why we're so unhappy at the end of the day, because it's like, I'm not supposed to be with you, and by the time we realize that, it's too late. Like, it's just
Some people can't deal, and a lot of women I notice too, they can't deal with the loneliness. Ooh, they can't take that silence, and they don't understand. Let's go biblical. Jesus went into the wilderness, right? He didn't even want to go. God, if this is from me, take it away from me. It's the wilderness. See, isolation brings about revelation. You reveal yourself to yourself through the silence. And that's what people don't understand. Silence is golden. That's real. It's true. You might have to go through that wilderness period. But then when you come out on the other side,
you're a monster.
Ooh, you got that energy. Monster. And then you're going to attract what you need. And that's what it goes back to. Like I said, it's science, it's math, it's all encompassed in your energy. You could attract what you want in life. The laws of attraction, that's real. It's so deep that we just don't understand how we make our reality. Like, through our eyes produce matter. It's the science to that. And the thing is, you producing whatever you have in your life, whatever you're dealing with right now, you conjured him up. And you dealing with it.
Well, I feel like you speaking to me directly right now, because I am going through life right now. Lord knows I'm going through life with men, but
So you gotta, when you have that "it's so hard to say goodbye" syndrome, guess what? You gonna deal with it, man. But you have to find coping mechanism to help you make it. Because there's only 24 hours in a day.
Only.
You sleep in 8 of them.
Right.
If you get a chance, if you got other things going, you might sleep 4, 5, 6. But guess what? That's only 18 hours. Get busy.
Right. And I feel like if you dedicate half of those hours to that other person and not you, who got you?
Who got you?
Who got you?
Yeah. So it's not being
That's
silly.
the motto of 2016. Who got me?
Yeah.
Me.
You got me.
Thank you. At the end of the day, me.
Who got you? So
Right.
like, you have to get over the history of being with someone.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fallacy or a flaw of women. That, that they have a hard time letting go. Some guys too.
Yeah.
But women mostly, because sometimes you got a dude that I know some guys like, when I go to the barbershop, like, man, this dude is a piece of doo-doo. Like, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Crying.
And it's just like a dog, like seriously a dog. Like, she gotta know he cheating. She got to know. And if she fine with that, cool. You know what I'm saying? It works well.
Right.
But in certain situations, it's like, man, you gotta realize what you have. And it's never too late to go back and readjust things. That's the beauty of life. You could wake up, you die every night. You wake up new. And like today, you go out there, you start having those quality conversations. You start asking the pertinent questions. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say log off, because logging off, the reason why I say log off, because that'll give you a fake conversation to talk about. Think about what you really want to think about and go ask a pertinent question. And just listen to the answer without over talking them.
Right. And I think that's important that you say that, especially when people are going through stuff. It's like, take a minute with you, really digest the situation before you go in and attack. I feel like I have that problem. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, if it's on my mind heavy, we finna talk about it right now. And I think a big issue is just like, take a minute, take a day to really digest the information. Go back, have that conversation, and see if you get the answers that you want. And then from that, then you can make a decision like, you know what? This just ain't gonna work.
This ain't gonna work, or and like I say, like I told my last one of my girls, I said, man, we ain't gotta be nasty about this. There's a way to break up without having, it be I hate you, you hate me. We could agree to disagree on this thing.
Right.
And who knows what the future may hold, like as in a friendship, or because hate ages you. Hate plays in on you. You know what I'm saying? I talk about it in the book. It's like from every aspect.
Everything's in the book.
It's all in the book, man.
It's all in the book. That's all we trying to tell y'all.
Because the thing is negative energy that plays in on you. It's like, say, for example, the guy cheat on you, right? You go out there, man, I'm going to catch you back, man. I'm tired of this. I'm going to do me like you say. But then, I'm going to do me. I'm gonna go binge drink tonight, and I'm gonna wake up next to somebody. And be
right,
like, oh
because
my
she
God.
got that little alcohol power.
Yeah, like Who am I? Who did I wake up? Who did I wake up next to? He wouldn't have had a snowball chance in hell if I was in my right state of mind, or if I wasn't in a vulnerable state due to someone else.
You better talk to Maya. Maya,
y'all not talking to me.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So sometimes, like I say, it's really about taking the chance, taking the time to get to know yourself, to love yourself, and to attract what you really need and what you want to.
At the end of the day. Oh my God.
Not eat. My boy Scrappy.
This conversation has been amazing. Kevin, if you can wrap up everything, when's the next book coming out? Where can we get All Men Are Dogs? Where can we follow you on social media?
Okay.
If we just want to text or email you for some advice, where can we do all that?
Okay, I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook, under Kevin Elliott, of course. And the actual picture of my book is my profile pic. I keep it up there. All Men Are Dogs, it is what it is. I'm on Instagram of the Kev Elliott, Kev Elliott. And, you could always hit me up, find me on Instagram, Facebook, hit me up with a direct message, and we could go from there. And my next book, The Chronicles of Nick, comes out in August 3rd.
That's my birthday!
Get out of here.
I'm not kidding.
That's crazy.
That's my birthday. That means it's meant for me. It's meant for you to send me as a gift.
That's done.
And then
That's done.
I'm going to read it. We're going to come back August 3rd and we're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about this thing, and you'll be able to see from a man's perspective. See what I'm talking about? There is no coincidences.
There's no coincidences.
It's
only how God says it.
That's it. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can find All Men Are Dogs at it's in Barnes and Nobles now. I've been blessed. So it's just like, it's everywhere. Every book retailer, Smashword, iBook, everywhere. You pull it up, Google it, I'm there.
And ladies, it's a book you don't want to miss out on.
Nah.
It's truly, take my word from it, it is truly a good book. I have read it twice, trying to figure out my dog. I haven't found him yet, but I'm still
Sometimes you gotta deal with the loneliness.
Sometimes you
come
got,
around.
and then sometimes you got to deal with some nasty dogs before you find the good one. It's
That's right.
it's all good. It's all good.
man. Like seriously.
Was a great comeback for the chat room. Thank you, Kevin, so much for joining us, Maya. I love you for always being here.
Ladies, just remember, all men, we love y'all. Like seriously. That's why we just love y'all. I love y'all.
Y'all dogs, but y'all love us.
We do.
Y'all need y'all trainer. I'm not gonna say that. That's a conversation for another day. Anywho, it's your girl, Miss Chloe Chantel, aka Chloe. You always know where you can find me on Instagram at Miss Chloe Chantel, or if you want to follow the chat room, it's at t.chat.room.